Okay, thank you so much. My name is Khoza, and I think as I've just said, I'm presenting this with my colleague, Dr. Chanté Botha. So we are both lecturing at the University of Johannesburg Business School. This is going to be the contents of my presentation. Okay, globally, the higher education system is undergoing challenges due emergence of knowledge society. I think that is like around the globe, because knowledge is a greater source of national wealth than physical capital. Economies worldwide have shifted from being based on money to being based on knowledge. Both economy and human condition can be improved with the support of high quality education. Education plays a crucial role in a thriving economy, a better healthcare system, and decrease in unemployment and poverty, especially in South Africa, which is why the budget keeps on growing. Okay, and the government has, because I think one of the NDP goals for South African government is to increase the enrollment in universities or higher educational institutions. However, the challenge is there's not enough space because we only have 26 universities. So as per my statistics, and with the 26 universities, the government has no immediate plans to develop additional higher education institutions. So South African institutions should prepare for no further higher education expansion because they cannot now build more buildings. These are typical long-term projects that can take years to complete, especially if you're building a building. And even that is not the case, given a short number of higher education institutions or the limited number, the growing number of students each year, it's causing a problem. And then, so then it brings a challenge to South African government. Some challenges that are facing South Africa is one of them capacity constraint that are tackling, overcrowded classroom, geographical barriers, financial constraint, equity gaps, among others, because they so. So the increasing demand for higher education in South African universities has led to a significant challenges for a shortage of physical study spaces for students. Over the past 21 years, South African education has experienced historical high growth in students. So like in 2025, this year went application. So there were 337,158 matriculants that passed, but there were only 202 first-year spaces. But this is only for a current year. So it does not involve all other years that the students have tried to apply. As universities start to accommodate growing student population, then 19 institutions that received over 4.2 million applications. So we only took the highest 19. So they received over 4.2 applications for only 131,987 first-year spaces. So then out of 26 universities, this study only took 3 statistical applications. The first one was University of Johannesburg that had 693,990 applicants, but it only had 10,500 spaces for the students. And Cape Peninsula University of Technology had 518,300 applicants, but only had 9,235 spaces. Then Northwest University had 390,000, so this is only 12,937 spaces that were available. So this study is aimed on exploring Metaverse as one of the solutions to accommodate the number of students who cannot access university and other higher educational institutions. The study aims to answer the following question: how can the Metaverse serve as a recommended transformative solution to address educational challenges, particularly study spaces shortages in South African higher educational institutions? So, and then my literature then covered the framework that has been developed by one of the authors, That is the Metaverse framework. That then what is important about this framework is AI. It's playing an important role in developing this. So then we come then to the components of Metaverse in education. So, and their use. We've got visual reality, that is for immersive environment, for visual classroom laboratories and collaborative spaces. We have AR, that's augmented reality, that's connecting digital content into physical world, facilitating hybrid learning experience. We have the blockchain technology that can be used to ensure secure crediting data management, transparent academic record. Then we have AI, that artificial intelligence, that support adaptive learning system and visual tutors, that's NPC tutors for personalized learning. Then we have 5G and cloud computing that will facilitate the high-speed connectivity for seamless access to visual. And then what we did in the study, we then now explore the countries that have integrated Metaverse. However, there is no country that is fully integrated, but to some extent, we have like South Korea. They are medical students. They can now use the operation using Metaverse. We have China and Spain. This one was University of Both Nations that have experimented with employing Metaverse platform to teach practical skills like project-based learning groups. 20 educators from each nation participated in the study, which evaluated how Metaverse tools improve international collaboration and skill development. We also had United States. It's employed the MetaQuest VR classes. The student can assist visual campuses to participate in remote learning, social interactions, group projects, history, biology, engineering, among the topics covered in the courses, which also features visual labs and simulations. So we also had United Arab Nations, that's a medical education as well. They also use students, they're also able to practice a risk-free and immersive environment by simulating medical procedures like surgical training using visual reality. So over and above that, we then now look into the context in South Africa. So in South Africa, we have not, it's still at infancy. However, we have the Africa Care in 2021. It launched something that is called Ubuntu Land. It was backed up by MTN and Nedbank. So, but this one was mostly commercial. But with that available already, we can take that and use those platforms to create visual classes. So according to that study, also that was done in Tunisia. There's a study done in Tunisia as well in Africa. They said 240 university students cited the perceived benefits, accessibility, satisfaction as their primary reason for using them. These findings could be used by South African institutions to foster adoption. The next section will then discuss the benefits, because we're looking into the benefits, challenges, because in South Africa we have, or rather the application of Metaverse, it can be used for visual classroom and campuses, simulation lab, like in visual laboratories. It can be used for immersive learning experiences. It can be used for global collaboration spaces. It can be used for blended learning and remote learning. It can be used for career training and internship. It can be used for visual events and network, among others. However, it can be used for that. So there can be benefits like of accessing resources or shared resources. It can enhance engagement, inclusivity as well, cost effectiveness, because if you go to university full time, it's costly than just buying the devices. It can be used for personalized learning, safe experimentation, global networking, future-ready skills. However, we have the challenges, among others. That is, the first one is infrastructure and cost. then digital literacy and digital divide, ethics and data privacy, health concerns, because the health concerns, especially, they say prolonged use of VR headsets can cause motion sickness, eye strain, mental fatigue, impacting students' well-being. That will impact student well-being. We have also technological barriers, because in certain places, like especially in South Africa, we don't have high-speed internet. Some students might not have devices, might not have the equipment. We also have another challenge that can be caused by Metaverse is the reduced social interaction, because they'll just be okay. And my research methodology, it used a case study. I did discuss the case studies already that were used, and these are the data sources. I used the thematic analysis, that is 6-stage phase framework. And my discussion and finding, so I had thematic analysis. The first theme that I developed, so the six stages, it went to get all these things. The first thing was infrastructure readiness. The infrastructure readiness. So we looked that each of the 4 global case studies emphasized that strong digital infrastructure is essential to the integration of the metaverse nationwide. High-speed internet, distributed computing capacity, the VR and AR device access have been prioritized by the nations such like China and South Korea. Then the second thing, we looked into policy alignment when you're analyzing these case studies. So the national agendas for digital transformation in China and United Arab Emirates are closely linked with their policy framework. Their government actively encourage innovation, provide financial support, maintain regulatory supervision of data privacy and ethics in online learning settings. Then the third one was the pedagogical innovation. Adoption of Metaverse is pedagogical as well as technological in South Korea and US. University like Moores College and Stanford University have redesigned their curricula to fit the immersive settings. For example, biology is now taught in visual labs, while story history is taught through avatar-led simulation, training for educators and assistants with instruction design support these particular pedagogical changes. Then we have another theme for access and equity. So both China and EU have specifically addressed equity challenges through multilingual content, rural network development, and device subsidies. Despite their technical advancement, this is especially relevant to South Africa, where a significant obstacle to educational innovation is still the digital divide. Then my fifth theme, it was student experience and engagement. Measurable outcomes for student engagement have been demonstrated by immersive environment, avatars, gamification, visual collaboration, boost student engagement, motivation, peer-to-peer communication, visual classroom in United States and Metaverse campuses in the United Arab Emirates witness better engagement rates, particularly among distance learners. So with this now, we then are looking to the context framework for integrating the metaverse into education in South Africa has been developed with these principles. So when you look into the framework, we still have to look into the infrastructure. That is the broadband, which means all your network, the VC devices, technical support. We have to look into the policy and governance. We have to look into pedagogy. We have to look into access and inclusion. So this is the framework that if we want to integrate metaverse in South Africa, we have to follow and look at. Sorry. Then the recommendation of the study, especially for South Africa, we must invest in foundational infrastructure, develop national metaverse in education strategy, build faculty capacity, immersive pedagogy, ensure equity and access, observe psychological and ethical effects, leverage public and private partnerships. Those are the recommendations. And the conclusion and key findings. The conclusion and key findings The metaverse can address the space shortage in South African higher education. It can also enhance the learning. It can increase the access. It can promote institutional agility, aligns with 4R and SA digital skill policy. So then when you look at global lessons like South Korea, China, Spain, and US, it shows success with infrastructure pedagogy and policy and pedagogy. But then you have to look into the challenges in South Africa, the economical and infrastructural limitations, as I've discussed the challenges. We have to look into the solution as well. Maybe look into cross-sector collaboration and strategic investment. So when you look into cross-sector collaboration, maybe some universities and other places, they can come together, and because if you want to do a certain program, so you can do the one that you visit does not have, you can do it in the other one, but they come together and collaborate across sectors and also across program in a certain university. There's also strategic investment that needs to be done. Then I did look into the framework, I discussed the framework. Then the contribution to the study advances digital transformation research with practical insight for emerging context. Thank you so much.